tired does not mean you quit. Dan Hunt here. I'm a performance coach. Being tired, again, doesn't mean you quit. It can mean a lot of things. It can mean like so many different things when you're tired, but the one thing that it doesn't mean is it doesn't mean quit. I think too often we actually experience this feeling of being tired, and the first thing we do is stop pursuing the goals that we actually set out to pursue. The truth is that being tired is momentary. Being tired is actually a state of mind. Being tired is more about energy levels and where you're putting your attention. And there's so many other things that you can do long before you ever quit and stop pursuing the goals that you pursue. The thing that I want you to think about today, if you're experiencing being tired, there's a couple things that you can go about and navigate this. But before I get into that, I just want to say first, I'm speaking in this video right now to myself even. I'm in a season right now where I have many different projects going, working with many different teams, both in athletics, in education, and in business. And although all of those things are great work and I'm excited about them and I'm very passionate about the work that I'm doing with those teams, they're not as aligned as I thought they would be. I find myself being focused and giving attention to things that aren't actually in alignment with the goals and the directions that I want to go in. I find myself in conversations that at the end of them I feel exhausted and tired. I find myself at the end of the day where I start out strong, I start out excited, I'm in it, right? By the end of the day, by 3-4 o'clock in the afternoon, I'm exhausted when I come home with my family. And so I'm actually going through this in real time and thought that it would be timely and perfect to talk about this because these are the actual things I'm doing because I'm feeling a lot of this tiredness. And the number one thing that I do immediately is when I experience this, I reframe this and I focus on the fact that being tired is just momentary. It's just for that moment. And I lean into the fact that mood follows action. And so when I experience being tired, I take deep breaths, I'll do push-ups, I'll drink water, I'll do something to shift my physiology, and then zoom back into the things that I need to do and accomplish or the actions that I need to take. It doesn't always make it easier, but what it does is it takes my focus away from everything else and zooms it back into what I believe is important, what I need to do. The other thing that you can do is I focus on what am I intaking? What am I inputting? What am I allowing into my body, both from a hearing, like audible, listening to, what are the conversations I'm in, what are the things I'm listening to, but the other thing is that I'm not a nutritionist, but what are the foods that you're eating? And recognizing and having a little bit of awareness of, are the foods that I'm eating allowing me to be at my best? Are the foods that I'm eating allowing me to have fuel and to finish out strong every single day? Or am I eating one meal a day and I'm crashing in the afternoon? Or am I eating breakfast and then crashing in the, or am I not eating breakfast at all? Those are all things within your control. Because we so often get tired and think, I'm just gonna stop. Instead of going, what are some inputs that are happening or that I'm allowing in my life that are either taking away from my focus or not helping me build that focus? And then finally, what you do is you audit. You actually evaluate and sit down and reflect on, where am I feeling most tired? What am I doing? What am I doing before? How am I recovering after? What are the things that are building me up? What are the things that are giving me that focus and energy and exciting me? What are the things that are taking away from that? And the things that are taking away from that, are they people? Are they places? Are they conversations? What are those things? And can you eliminate some of those things? Because the thing is that you cannot focus on everything and be great at everything. If you want to truly be great, if you really want to chase down some of those goals that you have and be able to develop into the best version of yourself, and whatever it is that you're doing, you're going to have to eliminate things. You're going to have to go through seasons in life where you stress yourself out, you stretch, you take on more than you can handle, and then you get better at handling those things and even evaluate what might need to come off the plate, what needs to be pushed off to the side. And we're going into a season where I know many of you are going to take on tons and tons and tons of things. You're going to be traveling for one sport, training for another sport, competing in another sport, trying to do this, go hang out with your friend. You're going to be doing all of this. You might be a business leader right now too that is driving something forward and trying to do a whole bunch of things. And I want you, before you start this, before you venture into this next season, I want you to get really clear on what matters. And I want you to ask yourself, the activities, the things that you're doing, the things you're involved with, are those helping you push forward towards the goals that you desire? Because if they're not, all you're doing is supporting other in their goals. And that's not necessarily a bad thing, but it can be a bad thing if you're not achieving yours as well. So evaluate yourself. Being tired does not mean quit. Being tired means take a deep breath, refocus, and keep hammering on.